Just remember, kids, I'm no farmer, but I played one on TV once. Well, hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's Farmer Clay here. I'm working on my new Holland 660. I had a customer that had an issue with his bale tension, and I did a short video on him, and shortly after that mine started doing the same thing. So I got that resolved, but I had another issue that came about that we're going to fix. But another viewer had said that to change my net wrap for the white net wrap in there. And I've never really had an issue, but I changed net wraps and it started creating an issue, and it wasn't feeding right, and it wasn't feeding, it wasn't cutting. And so there's a couple things that all went into it. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I did. These are the New Holland springs. I got two of them, one on each side, or there, and I got two down there as well. But then I reversed it and I ran the net wrap backwards, and then I ran it over this roller and back on in. Versus the other way, I had it up around through here and it just went straight on into and through the back, through the bottom. This here is coming around, wrapping around that roller and going. Since I did that, this has, hang on here, it has been doing a wonderful job of cutting, of feeding and cutting. The other thing I did is, these are plastic, little pieces of plastic in here. They don't show them on the 660. You have to look at them on the 640 model baler. Or maybe they do, but the guys I made these myself. And I put them in here. I'm gonna fold my rubber back here. So yeah, my net wrap comes out between them. So I made them myself out of some plastic I ordered, and they just kind of help hold and keep it up higher, and it seems to work pretty good. So I don't think I'm a big fan of this net wrap though. It's I know it's supposed to be their premium, but I don't think it is the premium. So, but the other thing I found, and I just gave this a really good bath. Oh, before I get there, so this valve here, the customer was having problems with bale tension. So if you unscrew this body right here, from here, there's two O-rings. There's one O-ring back here, and there's an O-ring up in there. That's all there is two O-rings. The back O-ring seals off the back so it doesn't leak. The front O-ring seals the body itself. So I pulled this apart, cleaned everything up really well. I drained the oil out, so I drained the oil from the reservoir right here, and so pulled it apart and did it. Now the other thing I did is I did a small plastic washer. I'll see if I can find one, another one, and I put it behind the spring to give the spring a little more tension. Let's see, where's my plugs? Right there. I didn't do a thick one, but I just did enough of. I don't think I have another one. But basically it's like a white plastic washer like this that I put between the metals. There's a metal washer in there, and I just used it as a shim just to add a little bit more that I put into it. So I did that, and so that allows it to hold a little more tension, so you don't have to put the screw in quite so far, but it also is allowing, so if that spring is a little weaker, you have a little bit more distance and travel in this here of screwing that in. And that's internal in there on that piece. Oops, sorry, it's internal up in here. And let me see if I can find those O-rings. I had the O-rings here somewhere. Let's go to the Baler box. Let's see, New Holland, 1475, 660. Go to the 660 bit. So these are the 2 O-rings. That's all they are. So these are the old ones. Those part numbers don't matter, but I actually used O-rings out of either one of these are just Harbor Freight kits that sometimes they work really good. Pretty sure I used this O-ring here. And then I think I used the O-ring out of the blue one. I used 1 and 1. I know one's metric, one's standard. Yeah, so out of the blue kit, I used this one down here in the corner. And then out of the red kit, I used that other one. So yeah, that's all I used, and my bale tension is back working good. The other one is I was worried that the check valve might have something in it. It's a very rudimentary check valve. I mean, there's nothing complicated about it. It's just basically a little plastic cone that sits in there, and this pin keeps it from flopping around. So it's nothing like super in depth on that. So either it's working or it's not. Once again, I didn't know what all the details were on it, and I wanted to have parts on hand before I went and did anything. Here is it'll zoom in. That's the part number for the check valve. Once again, there's nothing super complex about it. It's just a little floating ball in there. And that's all that check valve is. So either it's working or it's not. So if you take it apart, and it's all intact, just clean it out, put it back together. That's what I did. I don't know what really truly fixed mine. I'm thinking the O-rings did, but it's working again, and I've been watching it a little bit more careful than what I have been before. I went ahead and I got seal kits for these rams because I didn't know if these rams were creating me an issue. And those are my tension rams, one on each side. So once again, it's a pretty simple system. So the oil comes into here, hits this check valve. This holds your pressure. And then once and it comes in from, this comes from the other side. They both feed into here. They hit that. This releases the pressure. It goes back up there and back down here. This is just a flow through. When you're opening the door though, this fluid from here, from the tank, comes down, goes through the check valve, back down in, and allows these, so when it's coming back down and retracting back, it can pull the fluid on it. And so that's all the system works. And there's your fill level. Other than that, it's pretty basic on the system, what it's in there. But yeah, I was concerned that I needed to get a new one, try to find a new body, all that. This is impossible to find. So I just took it apart myself one day, just in a wild blue thing of trying it before I revamped it all. And just 2 O-rings, I put them back in there in that little plastic washer behind. And it seems to be, it's working again. So I'm gonna go with that, and hopefully that'll continue working. But while I was playing with all that, and I knew someday it would happen, I got oil leaking out, and it's out of my lift cylinder. So I'm going to pull both lift cylinders off. I just gotta undo it here and undo it there. I'll cap them both off. I'm gonna pull the lift cylinders out, and I'm going to rebuild them. I ordered the lift cylinder seal kits, oh God, probably 3 years ago, so I've had them in here, ready to go. The other one is I gotta put a pin on, bushing on this here too. So for this dog, there's a little bushing that goes around that. So I gotta put one back on there while I have this all apart. So that's what I'm gonna do here now. I'm gonna do this one, and I'll do one on the other side. So yeah, first and foremost, I do want to say thank you to the viewer that pointed out that there is, for white net wrap, there's a better way to put it in there. I've never had an issue before, but I think with the changing of the new net wraps, or the different net wrap, it created me an issue that I hadn't encountered before. And just reading your comment saved me a whole lot of headache and frustration, because me and my baler were about ready to have some serious issues in the hayfield. I was having to get out and feed it for every bale and cut every bale with a knife. And I just wasn't having it. So I flipped it around and I was like, well, give it a try. I flipped it around and ran it that way. And by God, it started cutting and working. And I was sitting there and I was singing your praises in my tractor cab. So I sure appreciate you giving me the input on that in the comments. That's what I do enjoy about the YouTube community, is there's a lot of people out there that know more than I do on certain things. And that's really helpful to help us all out and help anybody else that watches these as well. So once again, thank you. I'll tag you on it, your viewer name. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get after pulling these apart. Once again, this one too. Just take it off here and here, and that will free that up. And I will pull that ram, both of them out, and rebuild them. So it'll be a first time for me for rebuilding it, so we'll all learn together, I guess. All right, so we're taking off the, this will be the right side. Right, am I right, you're right? Our right side? Yeah, my camera woman. So that and that. Do we just cut the cable?
No.
Don't cut the cable, don't cut. The boss has spoken, do not cut the cable. Go grab a hammer and a punch. Mosquitoes are getting bad. We got one washer. If I slowly release that, okay, so it'll sit like that. Yeah. Hook it in a hole, don't let me forget that. Now there's a pin on the back here that we got to get right here. So I use a little crescent wrench on it. And I hook it on that pin, and then I rotate the pin against that little wrench. It does a pretty good job straightening that out. And take the punch and the hammer. And out comes the pin. So that one is free. Actually, I'm gonna let you hang out there for a moment while I get that top pin off. All right, so that one's free. Now we just got to do the hoses. Let's see, this one's the 18 millimeter, goes on there. 19 goes to hold it. You gotta wiggle that guy and pull him back. Because he hooks on, and then you get a cap for you there to get your oil leak to quit. Glove doesn't do you any good when you have a hole in the thumb. All right, and then over here we got the same thing. There'll be a little space in the hoses. Sometimes if you tighten it when nobody's paying attention, it'll break it free and then you can loosen it easier. I don't think I have a plug for you. I do for you though. All right, I'm gonna grab a plug real quick. All it has to do is keep the dirt out. All right, now move the ladder out of the way. Pull a pin. So we bring her down, lay her on her belly, and pull it out. A bunch of this stuff off down here. I'm gonna open that vise up. All right, close her down. All right, so what I learned on the first one is on this style of cylinder, there's a set screw in the side that we have to remove that we did before, right here. So we're gonna clean it out with brake clean, get that removed, and we're gonna clean all this surface up because we have to drive this in to get to the snap ring that's in here, just inside there. And once that snap ring's out, then we'll pull the hole, that whole assembly will come out and it should, in theory, slide apart. So the last one came fairly nicely. So hopefully we can rinse and repeat. All right, now let's stand clear. Grab some compressed air. And this side isn't leaking. So we lost some audio here. Here I'm removing the set screw. Don't lose it. You need to reuse it going in there. And then you want to put something to protect the chrome. So I just use masking tape, a couple wraps around on that. It doesn't stick the greatest, but all you're trying to do is just keep the impacts off the chrome as you're trying to drive this in. I'm sure there's a special tool out there that some hydraulic guy's yelling at me that this is what you need, but I can't hear you and it's already done now, so I just did the best I could to protect the chrome. And you want to try to drive that in. That's aluminum that you're hitting against, and so you're just trying to get it driven in there. And it has to go back about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm using that is a chisel that I ground it down flat, so it's like a big wide flat bar going, so to speak, to push it out more. But
It was just working.
yeah, I think it died. So we're gonna go back to the original mic that's there. It hears me pretty good on the front side, but
How would you like that?
somebody's probably screaming on their TV, "Don't do it! Don't use the air hammer!" Well, what's the point of owning one if you can't use it? See, I jinxed myself. I said the first one went easy. Oh. There we go. We'll have to clean that bit up on the lathe, but yeah, we gotta get that bugger out of there. Just spinning the snap ring down to make sure it's loose all the way around. Bring her up to the end and slide her off. How's that? Doom. I'm just gonna coat a massive amount of floor dry all over my shop floor.
You don't have to make me a heart.
Hmm?
You don't have to make me a heart.
It's because you hold my heart, love. Brownie points. You always give a shout out to your old buddy up in Zort, man. Oh, Mr. Steve. Oh yeah, the seals are shot on that, I'm sure. So, used to be an O-ring right here. Yeah, there's one little O-ring right there that's all in that brown. So, alright, so put that in the gun on the floor over there.
Yep.
Both. Takes an 1.1/8 socket. It was torqued to 37 ugga-duggas. Really? It's wanting to spin off. Normally those should just pull off. Says the Batman. Grab the brass hammer. So we're not carrying too much on this one because the kit comes with a new one, but I don't want to go screwing up no threads, I guess. I don't think these have ever been apart, so this is all original from 96 or 94 or whatever year the Baler is. She's just tightened up in there. So, old parts. Threads look good. So we'll pull this thing off. Show you guys a little bit of farmer magic here. I'm going to make an O-ring appear out of nowhere. Yeah, see how brittle that was. So the new ones come with an O-ring and a backing. And then on the inside, you have another. See, we'll have to clean these up. I was trying to avoid that, but on the inside, there's another one. And you pull that out there. The flat shoulders on the back. There's a flat shoulder there versus that one has lips and grooves. Lips and grooves goes inwards. The flat shoulder goes towards the outside. It goes towards the wiper seal. So if anybody's doing this, just know that all the grooves go inwards and the flat shoulder backs out and faces towards the wiper seal, which that's the wiper seal. So I'm going to take this over to, I'm going to wire wheel it real quick and take it to my lathe. And we're going to clean this up and get that seal out of there too. Actually, let's see if I pop that seal out real quick and then we'll just take it to the lathe at one time. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of gap underneath that. And we're going to take this seal hook, pull the seal. Now I'm going to take this over, wire wheel it all up, and then we're going to clean up all them shoulders and stuff. Everything else looks really good in there, just this stuff. So we'll get that cleaned up real quick. Okay, finally got the majority of it.
Want more?
Yeah. Cleaned it up good enough. So I have the seal kit. It's part number 785812. That's part number 785812. Ooh. So you get a new snap ring. There's your dust seal. There's your internal shaft seal for the chrome bar. And then here is the O-ring. And then here's the backing ring that goes with that. And then for whatever reason, they give you a whole brand new assembly here. So you just bolt that on. So, starter, remember, this is the inside and we want all of the grooves. Can you see them better here?
Yeah.
Those grooves there. No grooves. Grooves. No groove. Groove. Oh, I'm done. So you want the no grooves to the outside. So here's the outside. And action. You're running the pick around, making sure she's all seated in there and the lip is sitting where she needs to be. Looks good. Alright. Probably you're handier on bigger seals and stuff. So for your wiper seal, traditionally for like wheel seals, you put them in that way. But for a cylinder, a wiper seal sits outwards that way because the whole goal is to wipe the garbage off the outside to keep it from entering that other seal. So we're going to take this over to the press and push that in there. Alright, so schematics show that the backup ring, which is this guy here, goes in first, goes to the front, and then the O-ring sits to the back. Like that. Yeah, there it is. Where they see a mountain lion? They set up over at my dad's house there in Billings, I think. So last weekend, our kids start school on Tuesday. Yay. You excited? I'm excited. Oh, she's excited. I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll miss our kids. See how that slides on there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, you won't miss the kids? Not even a teensy little bit?
Maybe a little.
Alright, and then here comes the nut. Remember, we used 47 Ugga Duggas. We're going to do 47 to put it on. So I need you to count them. Don't count those ones. How many is that? No. Good enough. That was about 48 Ugga Duggas. Were you counting? Were you? I don't believe you. Alright, so this part is done for now. We're going to set it aside and we're going to clean up that inside.
Count it too.
It's a good thing people couldn't see that. I'll lay this over here. It's safe and sound and protected.
You got 17%.
Oh, yeah. So we better hurry?
Yeah.
Alright. Who's ready for round 2? Just remember, kids, I'm no farmer, but I played one on TV once. I'm going to buy a camera that has a backwards lens so people can see you rolling your eyeballs at me. Okay, I'm a hurrying. Can't rush perfection.
Yeah, but you can't get it on YouTube.
Oh. Well, we just have to run inside and grab another battery. It's not only good for your hair, it's good for hydraulics. Next one's kind of a bugger. Excuse me. A little bit off this, so it's not waving garbage everywhere. Oh, you kidding me? That one's so beautiful. No. But I do got to tap that down the rest of the way. Get it done. All right, so now that'll slid back in there. So we got to push it back in to get the snap ring back in. So as gentle as we can be. Alright, so now bring it down here, slide it up. See if I can remember how to do this. We got the snap ring in there. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it's in. So now the fun, scary part comes. Are you ready, love?
Mm-hmm.
All the way out?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it. Power of air pressure. At work, we do pressure tests on water mains, and we run them to 210 psi. And then they have to stay above 200 for 2 hours. So that's pretty standard water test. A lot of people do it that way. However, we had one customer decided he didn't have his water source yet, so he decided to use air pressure. And air pressure is totally different. So you do about 20 pounds of pressure for 2 hours. We'll get you a pretty good idea. He tried running his water main up to 200 psi with air pressure, and he had a lot of leaks when he put water in there. All right, so the set screws back in. That concludes the build. We're gonna retract it. Kind of sticky at the bottom there. Alright, well, we're going to polish up for the night, and we will come back in the morning and install it, and then we'll be done. Then we'll grease the baler up and get it ready for the third cutting. Alright, we're going to install this, and then I'm going to grease the baler up. The name that told me to flip my net wrap around, gentleman's name is Tom Sheeran 1705. That's his YouTube name. So thank you, Tom, for that information. Oh, all right, we gotta get the bottom in first. Get the bottom. There we go. And then this guy goes up here. Take this to the vise real quick and fix both ends. Just make it a little easier for feeding so we're not fighting them. We'll straighten that out. How was your sleeping in last night? I get up at 3:30, go change water this morning. I let my lovely camera woman sleep in. I got trouble number one out here.
Not trouble.
You're not trouble? No. Not even a little bit? There's some slop in it, but it'll be okay. Let's not forget this guy. And then, of course, you. Come on, you. There. All right, so we're just gonna connect up the two hoses and a couple zip ties. Oh, I'm sure it's gonna get up there. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. All right, we'll get a couple zip ties. Right. So I think that's all of that. Now just time to grease the old girl. All right. So with that, that's installed. So we're gonna go fire up the tractor. We're gonna pull it ahead and I will run it through and cycle it. So once again, you just have, what? Hold it up like that, up higher.
So people aren't looking up your nose.
Oh, were you looking at my nose? She's out here one time and tells me how to do it. Oh. Leave a like if you have a wife like that. So, and once we're done, we're gonna come through and clean all this up. But once again, got it connected. They're not hard to do. You saw the video on how to take it apart. You run into a few things just due to age and stuff. So, once again, this side's already done. Everything's connected back up. Right here is your lever to lock it up in the up position, which basically just restricts the two lower rams on it. So, with that, we're gonna fire it up. I got a few things I'm also gonna, this is bent way out of whack here, over at an angle. I don't know why or how or what happened there, but I might pull all this off and press this straight today and kind of fix that, and that'll help with some of the cycling of that going up and down. I don't run the cover on there because I was running into issues with getting a lot of binding, so I had to get the clutch set, so I just keep the cover open the whole time. Oh, let's get that out of there. I got my other helper number 2 there. So yeah, we'll get this finished up and serviced. I don't think anybody needs to see that. It's pretty self-explanatory on how to service your baler, but that's finishing up for the New Holland 660 on that. Once again, to that Tom Sheeran, I think. Maybe not Sheeran, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure. Tom Sheeran, SHIRRAN 1705. So appreciate you telling me on the net wrap. I made the comment that I tried it before, and I think I used it for like the black net wrap or something, but for whatever reason, this white stuff here that I've been getting lately, it feeds way better. So once again, I sure appreciate you on putting that comment down. That made it a lot easier. And then for anybody else, hopefully that'll help them out down the line. So I'm gonna finish this up. Oh, the other one you gotta watch for, mind your bearing for any of it. That guy back there. So I had mine was an issue. We ended up replacing it, but just keep that in mind on that one that's back in there. I mean, watch them all obviously, but that one's kind of a bugger hidden back in there. So once again, appreciate you all for following along. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.